Let's go back to one big beautiful bill was passed on July 4th.
Sorry, ladies and gentlemen.
For
Welcome back.
Americans is retroactive to the beginning of the year.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I had to restart the live because, we got
when
recorded.
I started my career in Wall Street in the 80s, people used to focus on trade. Were we building more in the U.S. or were we importing more? We're seeing the trade deficit drop, too. So the trade deficit drop means more production in the U.S. So
Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, but when you get reported, you don't want to take the risk. All right, so what he'll do is this, ladies and gentlemen.
You're proposing a major shift.
This is Scott Bessent telling the American people that we're going to get $1,000 to $2,000 back in a tax refund this year because of, guess what he says, the big, beautiful bill. And none of us really believe that that's true. We all know that basically it doesn't mean a thing to us because if you really want to do the math, right? If you really want to do the math, guess what's going on? The tariffs that Donald Trump has placed on everyday Americans translated into a tax increase. So at the end of the day, at best, if this is true, you'll just be getting all the money back you paid in tariffs. So it's really not like you're getting any money. And the $100 billion and the $150 billion, you'll never see any of that. That's going to all his billionaire friends and himself, not you. And so what we'll do is this, because I know MAGA they're going to host lives today, and they're going to quote Scott Bessent, and they're going to try to act like the economy is not in terrible shape when it really is. Ladies and gentlemen, all you want, and this is what I say do. Do not argue with Trump voters about the economy anymore. Just tell them to show you evidence of it being successful. And I promise you, they will not do it. What do I mean, evidence? They'll try to use the gas prices. And I'll say this, and egg prices. You can have cheap gas prices, and you can also have a terrible economy. For instance, check out what's going on in Russia. So that's not a thing. What I want to see is your utility bills, right? We want to see, did Donald Trump cut your utility bill in half like he promised that he would do when he campaigned? He said he would cut it in half by the end of the year. Someone yesterday said, Zeus, it doesn't matter if he doesn't cut it in half as long as it's cheaper. And I said, actually, it does matter. All right. For instance, if I promised you to give you half of $100,000, what's the amount that I should be giving you? Someone would say, well, you should be giving me $50,000. Now, what if I showed up and I only gave you $10,000? Is that the same as giving you the half of $100,000? Exactly. And you're right. Utility bills are actually up by 13%. See, you Trump voters, y'all love to play all these weird games, but I don't even play them with you anymore. Show me your 401k. Show us a bank statement or your banking account that shows that you got more money now under Joe Biden. Show us the utility bills, right? I don't want to argue about your unemployment numbers. I don't want to argue about GDP. I don't want about Biden had inflation. No, show us the proof Donald Trump is delivering on all of his promises. And I promise you, you can't, because you're all a bunch of liars. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in warming up the lake of fire once again for these Trump voters. They know they've been caught lying. These people know that Donald Trump isn't delivering a thing, and now they got this new thing going on. Well, all politicians, Zeus, this is what they say, all politicians, they never deliver on all their promises. Did Biden cure cancer, Zeus? Is that it? So Biden doesn't cure cancer. What happens? We're basically doing what we're doing. Trump doesn't do what he said to do. Guess what? We're in World War III. Big difference. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in sending these demons straight to hell. Yeah, now we got some other news out here, ladies and gentlemen, and this is I guess Susie Wiles did an interview with Vanity Fair, and again, I believe that the whole Trump administration, the cabinet right now, they're in panic mode, free fall, because the midterms are coming, and they got to throw whatever they can to make it stick. You know, we talked about Candace Owen and Erica Kirk. I don't know what's happening with that. Perhaps they're going to reunite. I heard they got their orders from the director who's running this show. They both all of a sudden need to be getting along. I don't know what's happening with MAGA, but one thing we know, the cult is spinning and chasing its tail. So Susie Wiles, she's done an interview in Vanity Fair. You should actually go check it out. I haven't read it all. And, you know, she says some things about folks in the Trump cabinet that I think we need to address. All right. And so this happened on CNBC. and with Steve Scalise, and they just asked him a couple of questions. What do you think about this and that? In terms of what Susie Wiles said in Vanity Fair. Let's listen up.
Separately, and this literally has happened while you have been, I think, on the air. I don't know if folks have been following. There's a piece in Vanity Fair that has just come out, an interview with Susie Wiles, of course, who's the chief of staff to the president, who says she apparently sat for 11, there were 11 different interviews going on here with the cabinet team. Some astonishing quotes. I just want to read you this. I'm curious what you react to it. She said that Mr. Trump, quote, has an alcoholic's personality. She goes on to say that J.D. Vance has been a conspiracy theorist for a decade. She says Russell Vought, who's the budget director, is a right-wing absolute zealot, and that Pam Bondi completely whiffed in handling the Epstein files. This is the chief of staff of the president. This literally came out just this morning as we've been speaking to you.
Well, I obviously have not read that article. I'll have to read it. I know Susie, she's the hardest working person up in D.C. with the hardest working president in America, Donald Trump. By the way, he doesn't even drink alcohol. So not sure what that quote is related to. The full context would be helpful. But President Trump never stops working for American people. I've talked to him about health care, talked to him about a lot of issues, and he's engaged in all of them. He wants to help lower costs for families. Again, not just in health care, at the grocery store. Look at gasoline prices. We're seeing a 4-year low in gas prices at the pump today. That's more money in people's pockets. We're seeing higher wages. We need to do more, and we're going to do more. But those are some good things that President Trump's already delivered on in less than a year.
Steve Scalise, absolutely not. You're a liar, and I caught you lying. And, we don't know what Donald Trump is on, but one thing we do know is we're not getting more Donald Trump. No, the New York Times published a nice piece on him. He's 39% lazier than he was when he was in office the first time. The man barely, when does Donald Trump get up? I think he literally gets up at around 1 p.m., goes and does a press conference, and then he goes right back to being a dementia patient. So, no. And then there was something else in this interview that I wanted to make sure we address, and then I'm going to send Susie Wiles and Steve Scalise, actually, and the rest straight to hell. It was about Ghislaine Maxwell, and I'm just going to read it. She says, but neither apparently is Mr. Clinton talking about did he go to Epstein Island. Asked about Mr. Trump's claims going back years that Mr. Clinton had visited Epstein Island, Mrs. Wiles said, there is no evidence. So, MAGA, Miss Susie Wiles is saying there's no evidence Bill Clinton went to Epstein Island. So you better take her word. I don't ever want to hear about it again. And she says, as Mr. Trump suggested, she said the president was wrong about that. She added that it was Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche's idea to go interview Mr. Epstein's convicted associate, Ghislaine Maxwell, in prison, and that the president, get this, the president didn't know. He didn't know that she would be transferred to a minimum security prison camp. The president was ticked off, she said. The president was mighty unhappy. I don't know why they moved her, and neither does the president. How many of you think it's acceptable? Let's just say Susie is telling the truth. How many of you all think it's acceptable that the president of the United States doesn't know why his deputy attorney general moved one of the worst people on earth to a minimum security? Do I believe it? I'm asking you. She's in the White House with Trump. She said Trump has no clue. Just like Trump doesn't even know who he's pardoning. See, you see how y'all keep getting yourselves into these situations, MAGA? Because now the larger question is, if he doesn't know this, what else doesn't he know? Who else is he pardoning that he has no clue about? See? And this is why I tell you Trump supporters, y'all going to have to reap what you sow. Y'all cried about Joe Biden being too old. And what did you do? You went out and got an older president with way more health issues. All right. You cried about Joe Biden being sleepy. What did you go and do? you went and got a president that actually showing you he's actually the sleepy one, and you voted for him. Y'all cried, y'all couldn't understand what Joe Biden was saying, and he was embarrassing the country. And what did you do, MAGA? Y'all went and got someone worse than Joe Biden to really show you what sleepy and incompetent and unfit really looks like. And now you got it all on yourself like it's some boo-boo. You got boo-boo all in yourself, MAGA. And we're telling you to clean yourselves up. And you don't want to listen to us because you guess what? It hurts too much to get a little soap on your behind, huh? Because you ain't had a soap on your behind in years, I guess. Y'all love being filthy, dirty people. So I have no choice. People say, Zeus, please don't use the lake of fire when you're judging these Trump voters, Zeus. I hate the fact that you use the lake of fire. Well, all I'm doing is using what God gave me to use in the good book, so to speak, survival scroll. I call it the survival scroll. And there's lessons in there because there's real heaven and hell, and then there's this. And what I'm going to do is make sure before you get to the real one, you get this. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in warming up the lake of fire. You reap what you sow. That's what it says. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. That's what it says. Get the splinter out of your eye. First, no, get the 2x4. Yeah, I like to say it like that. Get the 2x4 out of your eye before you try to tell me to get the splinter out of my eye. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in sending these hypocrites that support Donald Trump where they belong, straight to hell.
Silence, you MAGA demon.
Ladies and gentlemen. I just wanted to do this, ladies and gentlemen. I'm gonna let Glenn Kirshner explain why Kash Patel needs to go straight to hell. All right, and it won't take long.
Kash Patel of learning from Glenn Kirshner here. So, friends, it's pretty clear that no one can ever accuse Kash Patel of learning from his mistakes.
Right.
Remember when he posted during the Charlie Kirk shooting incident that we've got the guy in custody?
Yeah.
Only to be wrong about that.
Oh.
Well, he's just done it again.
What did he do?
This time in the Brown University shooting case.
Uh-oh.
This from the New Republic. Kash Patel makes another major error on Brown University shooting. The FBI director has once again prematurely announced details about the suspect.
Wow.
And that article begins, Kash Patel celebrated too early again. On Sunday, the FBI director made a lengthy post boasting about the Bureau's efforts to detain a person of interest in the Brown University shooting on Saturday night that killed 2 and wounded 9.
Wow.
And friends, I'm going to get to Kash Patel's post in a minute, but the article continues. The person of interest was released hours after Patel's announcement. This blunder from Patel reeks of the same overeagerness that led to this same outcome in the Charlie Kirk shooting. In September, Patel, drew the ire of the left and right for his premature social media post the day of the shooting, declaring that the subject for the horrific shooting was in custody.
Here we go again.
A claim almost immediately contradicted by local officials. Patel later backtracked, and the manhunt ensued for another 27 plus hours before the suspect, Tyler Robinson, was turned in by a family member.
So we have a FBI director. You remember now we found out he was crying about not having a jacket. He's not fit for the job. Who turned in the suspect that unalived Charlie Kirk, ladies and gentlemen? Was it the FBI? No, it was his own family. But this man, Kash Patel, he's running around here parading and acting like he is really doing something. All he's doing is proving to the world that Donald Trump has the most corrupt and incompetent administration ever known to mankind. I mean, when I hear stuff like this, ladies and gentlemen, I say, can it possibly Can it possibly get worse? Can Cash do anything else to just totally humiliate the United States?
Okay, friends. Now let's turn to Kash Patel's premature, counterproductive, and inaccurate post.
What did he do?
An update on the FBI response at Brown University. FBI Boston established a command post to intake, develop, and analyze leads and run them to ground. So that's Kash Patel taking time out of his busy investigative day to let everybody know that law enforcement is doing law enforcement stuff. But it gets worse.
It gets worse?
We activated the FBI's cellular analysis survey team to provide critical geolocation capabilities. You know what Kash is doing there?
What did he do?
He is revealing in real time the investigative efforts that are being undertaken. You know, he's revealing how they're trying to catch the bad guy, which signals to the bad guy that, oh, I guess I better dump my phone.
Wow. So so Kash Patel is he's actually helping the bad guys. This is so bizarre. The director of the FBI is helping the bad guys. This is bizarre.
Believe it or not, it gets worse.
It gets worse?
As a result, early this morning, FBI Boston's Safe Streets Task Force, with assistance from the U.S. Marshal Service and the Coventry, Rhode Island Police Department, detained a person of interest in a hotel room in Coventry, Rhode Island, based off a lead by the Providence RIPD. So, friends, why is this a significant blunder?
Why?
The same blunder he made in the Charlie Kirk case previously.
It's just incompetence.
Well, first of all, he made clear by inaccurately relating that they've got the bad guy in custody. He made clear that the FBI screwed up because they got the wrong guy holed up in that motel room.
Gosh, this is incompetent.
2, he inaccurately signaled to the people that the coast is clear. All is safe. Killer is in custody, and that was wrong, and that's dangerous.
Dangerous, yeah. So he's dangerous.
3, he's disclosing facts to the public that the public doesn't need to know, the public has no right to know, and the public shouldn't know. Why shouldn't the public know that, you know, the suspected killer is holed up in a motel in Coventry, Rhode Island? Because you're feeding them facts that they wouldn't otherwise have. So if some witness wants to nefariously insert himself in the investigation and say, yeah, that's right, I saw the killer go to this motel in Coventry, Rhode Island. So, you know, maybe I'm up for some reward money. You don't gratuitously put facts, evidence, information that the public doesn't need to know and has no right to know, because you're really infecting the investigation. But even worse,
what's that?
You are giving the ultimate shooter, assuming the FBI gets the right person, indicts them, puts them on trial, you're giving that person, the shooter, what's called a third-party perpetrator defense. By, you know, grabbing up and announcing, you've got the guy when it's the wrong guy. What is a third-party perpetrator defense?
What is a third-party perpetrator defense? So, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm sorry to stretch this out, but I'm doing this to show you that for the first time in American history, the director of the FBI is showing us that he's actually helping the criminals. That's what we're seeing right now. Everything he's doing is perfectly crafted to help the criminals evade being held accountable. And it makes absolute perfect sense when you know this is the same guy defending the criminal in the White House, right? And he's not releasing the Epstein files.
The actual shooter in the Brown University horrific shooting incident, if he goes on trial, is going to be able to call as a witness FBI Director Kash Patel. Because what did you do, Mr. Director? You announced to the American people very publicly in a big splashy post that you've got the guy.
Uh-huh.
You've got him, and you're holding him in a motel room in Coventry, Rhode Island.
So incompetent.
And that guy that you had in that motel room is not my client, who you're now trying to convince the jury is the actual shooter, right? And Director Patel, you would not have announced to the American people and to the world in that big splashy post that you've got the guy if you didn't have significant evidence that in fact that was the actual shooter. And that's not my client. And then the defense attorney turns to the jury during closing arguments and says, and ladies and gentlemen, that, what Kash Patel posted, that should absolutely give you at least reasonable doubt, and you should therefore find my client not guilty. You know, Kash Patel got it right the first time when he announced to the American people, we got the guy in the motel in Coventry, Rhode Island. Now, I'm not saying that's necessarily a...
So, ladies and gentlemen, Glenn Kirshner, by the way, let's give Glenn Kirshner a round of applause because he's explaining to the Trump voters why Kash Patel is actually a dangerous person, and he's not going after criminals. He's actually, in a way, helping the criminals, ladies and gentlemen. And then there's another part about this that just, to me, it just really sends me over the edge. Apparently, while there's, because, you know, we haven't found the person that committed this horrific crime, but it looks like Kash Patel is doing a podcast with Katie Miller and his girlfriend, right? So this is all over. Kash Patel announces, or Katie Miller announces, that there's a podcast coming out with Kash Patel and his girlfriend.
We are so excited to be joined by Kash and his beautiful girlfriend, Alexis. So I just want to clarify, you're not Jewish. I'm not. You are not from Israel. No. So how did we get to, are you a Mossad agent?
You know, that's a great question.
Where's her ring? Just to clarify, how often has he traveled to see you since January 20th? Has there been one moment where you're like, you can't make this up?
Wow, so that's Kash Patel and his girlfriend. They have time while there's a dangerous person on the loose. For some strange reason, he has time to do a podcast with Katie Miller, Stephen Miller's wife, ladies and gentlemen. This is just proof that these folks don't care about the United States of America. Yeah, wow, that's exactly what I said. It's proof that Donald Trump doesn't care about you. This is all just one massive grift, and it's placing millions of lives in danger. But you know who won't call it out? Trump and his supporters. But guess who'll call it out? Us. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in warming up the lake of fire once again. Because you Trump voters, like I said, a lot of y'all won't be here come midterms because y'all doing everything it takes to get yourselves up out of here and peacefully cross over into the afterlife. All I'm doing is helping you. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in sending these demons once again straight to hell.
Silence, you MAGA demon.
W Zeus, ladies and gentlemen. All right, let's move it along. I got a little bit more, and then we'll open up the boxes and try to have some quick conversations with those of you who are brave enough to get in the box and tell the truth and shame the devil. So yesterday, ladies and gentlemen, and this is why I got to send Donald Trump. So while the country is on fire, Donald Trump is holding these press conferences, and he's just doing the most insane things I have ever seen, disrespecting our men and our women in uniform. I won't play the whole thing, ladies and gentlemen, but what he does is he hands out Mexican border defense medal, Mexican border defense medals. All right, and also he signed an executive order, which we won't even get into because it means absolutely nothing. But the way that he's humiliating our men and women in uniform, it's definitely worthy of Lake of Fire. So he signs the executive order, and then he pulls these medals.
Thank you very much.
He pulls these medals out of his drawer, and he hands them to these soldiers. And it's just proof, ladies and gentlemen.
But that means something.
Watch this. Listen to this.
Very special.
He's handing out medals to these folks.
Thanks, Mr. President. You know what you can do, tie it around your neck? It's got a nice ribbon. I think you'll like it. It's special. We don't give them to many people.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Come on over here, come here. Look at this guy. The man's being happy. That's 4 size up big. That means a lot.
You see this thing?
Hey, John.
Is this fitting of a commander-in-chief to any of you? Does anyone think this is fitting of a commander-in-chief to be handing out fake medals to our men and women in uniform, making them say, "Thank you, Mr. President"? He's too lazy to get up and show these men and women respect while he uses them as props in his unhinged reality show. Joe Biden would never do anything like this, ladies and gentlemen. What else did Donald Trump do, ladies and gentlemen? He actually, while the country is on fire, right? While the nation is on decline, he announces he is suing the BBC for how much is he suing the BBC for, ladies and gentlemen? $10 billion. You can't make this stuff up, ladies and gentlemen. You really can't.
In a little while, you'll be seeing I'm suing the BBC for putting words in my mouth. Literally, they put words in my mouth. They had me saying things that I never said coming out. I guess I used AI or something. So we'll be bringing that lawsuit. A lot of people are asking, when are you bringing that lawsuit? Even the media can't believe that one. They actually put terrible words in my mouth having to do with January 6th that I didn't say. And the beautiful words that I said, right? The beautiful words. Talking about patriotism and all of the good things that I said, they didn't say that, but they put terrible words. They actually have me speaking with words that I never said.
What is he saying?
And they got caught because I believe somebody at BBC said, this is so bad, it has to be reported. That's called fake news. So we'll be filing that suit probably this afternoon or tomorrow morning. I want to thank all of you for being here. If you have any questions, I guess you could ask, but this is really a day of celebration for these people. The job they've done is really unprecedented. So go ahead.
On Brown University, Mr.
Now they're going to ask him about Brown University, right? You and Kash basically put out a bunch of misinformation saying you have the suspect. Do you still have confidence in Kash Patel?
President, do you know what the motive of the shooter was? Was it a targeted attack?
That's moving along now, and we don't, and we're going to see what happens. Hopefully, they're going to capture this animal. Hopefully, they're going to capture him.
Has Kash Patel told you why it's been so difficult for the FBI to identify who the shooter is?
Well, it's always difficult. So far, we've done a very good job of doing it.
I'm done with this guy. He says they've done a very good job while the suspect is still at large. How do you defend this, MAGA? I don't even want to play the rest of it. Plus, I got to open up my boxes. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in sending this demon Donald Trump who's ruining America and embarrassing our troops, ladies and gentlemen. You see him right here. He got up to lie, but he sat down when he was humiliating our men and women in uniform. I've never seen any wickedness like this, and it just shows America is on a serious decline. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in sending this demon straight to heaven.
Silence, you MAGA demon!
All right, W. Listen, we made it through a very difficult morning. You know, we had to restart the live and all of that, but honestly, we got to go ahead and get started and start having some of these amazing conversations. And so what I'll say is this: are there any Trump voters out there that are brave enough to get in the box? Please send me a guest request and I'll bring you right on up here and we'll get you straightened out. I'll try to give you at least a solid minute to clarify or say whatever it is that's bothering you. W drummer. Put a 1 in the chat if you're a Trump voter. It really doesn't take long, ladies and gentlemen, to get up here and explain why you and I'll say it. I have not met a solid answer, because I don't even want to ask them why they voted for Donald Trump. No. I want to know, if you're so intelligent, right? How did you using the information you had about Donald Trump's first term, how did you use that information and go into the voting booth and commit what I call treason? I really am struggling. I'm really struggling to wrap my mind around this. What didn't click in your brain? All right. What didn't click in your brain? So if you're a Trump voter, identify yourselves in the audience, and what we'll do is we'll bring you right on up here. All right. Give them a second, ladies and gentlemen. They're trying to build up the courage to do it. All right. Seriously. All right. Let's see. Yeah, delusional. Racism. You think so? Is racism? What brain? Oh, wait. My sister says it's all fake by the Dems. Jackie, what do you mean, Jackie? What are you talking about, Jackie? Send me a guest request. All right. I don't know what you're talking about. All right. Go ahead. You got that right. Thank you so much. Yeah, I believe it was racism, huh? Maybe. Okay, why don't people understand it was all about avoiding electing a black woman? You know, I've heard that one. Yeah. They don't want to acknowledge that it is. Yeah, they don't want to acknowledge their racism. They won't do it publicly, but privately, when they don't think people of color are around, you'll be surprised at how racist some of them can get. All right, they'll say a bunch of racist jokes. And I've heard them before. Maybe they didn't know I was listening in, but I was listening in. They'll say when they don't feel like the camera is on them and they feel like the darkness is covering them in their wickedness, they say some of the most evil and vile, sick things, and then they'll get out here and try to act like they're Christians. I don't buy it. W, Zeus. All right, you voted for Harris. All right. Moving along, ladies and gentlemen. Who do we got? Good morning. Who is this? Lee. Welcome, Lee. How are you?
Hey.
Good morning. How are you?
Good morning. How you doing, bud?
I'm all right. What can I help you with this morning?
Nothing. Just you keep talking about decline, right?
Oh, Trump's health and stuff. Yeah, his mental decline. Correct.
And then you'd keep talking about how we're getting worse as a nation. But you think when the big guy was in the office, it was going up or down, or was it level when the big guy was in?
Are you talking about Joe Biden?
Yeah, the big guy.
Because, Donald Trump, his nickname is the boss. I actually, and if I could be honest with you, I think that when Joe Biden took over, the country was in very, very, very bad shape. People were locked down. People were scared. I remember on the news, they were counting the number of bodies, right? People that were losing their life to C-19. You remember that?
Yeah.
You remember the supply chain issues and stuff like that happening, and people weren't able to get things. And gas did go down a little bit because the economy was shut down. So I remember that. And then I remember when Biden and Kamala Harris got in, there was a push to help get the country back on track. And, coming out of a bad situation, obviously there was some turbulence, but for the most part, I believe by the time Biden's presidency ended, the economy was pretty much in good shape. It wasn't perfect, but it had bounced back relatively good compared to all the other countries that had to deal with a similar situation. So that's what I think. What do you think?
I think, I guess he had a little bit of
They said it was a soft landing.
a little hill to get over, but I guess he got over it. And when things stabilized or got back to normality, it just kept getting worse and worse, right?
In what sense?
Inflation,
No.
cost, everything started going up. But it's not what I'm trying to argue about. He wasn't. Your guys' solution to get Harris in was not a solution, right? So, you guys lost because of that poor picking of someone to represent you guys. That's what happened, right?
I actually have a different take. I believe that Donald Trump did a great job convincing a lot more people than I thought that all the things that Joe Biden was dealing with was Biden's fault. And he helped them do that because he made it seem like he had nothing to do with what Biden was dealing with. And actually, I think the entire country we all lost because Kamala's not the president right now. in a way, if you know what I mean, because what I've been asking, and I'm glad you came up here, is you were alive during Trump's first term, right?
Yes.
How do you explain Joe Biden winning if Trump was doing such a great job, right? And I say that I don't want to get into the two-tier justice system and stuff, but if you were to just grade his presidency, you would have to walk away and say he did get impeached twice, and he's the only president to get impeached twice in his first term. And he did mismanage C-19, all right? And then on his way out, instead of engaging in a peaceful transfer, he did January 6th. How did you, knowing that, go into the voting booth and say that you know and vote for him again? I don't get that.
Well, if you stand back and you just listen to what you just said, right? So that's why rigged elections have consequences, right? He should have won his second term because and Biden should have never came in. He should have won legit and been the president again. But what happened was he skipped 4 years, and since he did such a good job in 2016, he got reelected again because they couldn't rig it, right?
No.
Oh, 100%. That guy had no business being elected from his basement. He ran his whole campaign in his basement.
I mean, so again, it sounds like you're not really trying to process reality.
No, reality
I just said to you, I said to you, he got impeached twice, right? That happened.
Reality is,
Lee, did it happen? Did he get impeached twice?
Obama gets 71 million votes. Hillary Clinton got 65 million votes. And then Trump got 80 million votes, and then Biden came in and somehow beat Hillary Clinton and Obama in votes.
Yes.
Because he was so good.
You know what it is? The turnout. A lot of people don't understand this. Donald Trump was such a danger to the country in his first term. The turnout for Biden is what helped get him over the line. Do you understand how many folks in America? That's why I was asking you. Maybe you don't remember how bad things were. A lot of people tend to not even really pay attention when it comes to voting. All right. They just tend to like, okay, it is what it is. It's, it's always going to be the good. But that was one period in time where Americans had to pay attention because we were sitting at home, bro. Remember? We had no other choice because the nation was locked down. And you turn on the TV and you see this guy and he's lying to you about all the things that are going on. It was the very first time in American history where everyone had to pay attention. So to me, it makes sense more people actually participated in the election. And they were saying, we don't want Donald Trump. Now,
and I can see your point.
His own administration, they confirmed that there may have been some things going on in the election, but it wasn't enough to change the results of it. I'll agree with you. You may have had instances where there was fraud, but it wasn't enough to change the results. And if you really were to be honest with yourself, it makes sense because of his failures in his first term. And you all don't want to count that fourth quarter. But what game do you play where you don't count the fourth quarter? What game on earth do you play where you say, we're really the winners if you keep the fourth quarter out? It doesn't work like that. That's all under Trump, bro. That's why he lost. And then,
I mean, you got valid points, but okay.
Yeah, because what I don't want to do is I don't want to erase what we all went through. I think Americans have a very short attention span, and I'll give it to you. Between Donald Trump and his repetition when it comes to lying, oh my gosh, I got reported. Oh my gosh, why are you guys reporting? They're reporting me. Okay, they were all right. But I'll say this: between Donald Trump and his repetitive lies, a lot of you were manipulated into believing that everything Joe Biden was dealing with was Biden's fault 100%. Number one. And then what we've also found out is, and I talked about it yesterday, Tenet Media, Russia. A lot of the right-wing influencers, the bigger ones, some of them were being paid by Russia. Remember? Tenet Media. Remember? Tim Pool, I think Benny Johnson. These are the other ones. I don't know them all. But when you layer Donald Trump's lies with the Russian misinformation and disinformation, I understand that Donald Trump did a great job convincing you all that everything Joe Biden had to deal with was because Biden was incompetent. But we also have to acknowledge that by the time Biden left office, Donald Trump had a pretty good economy. We actually have to acknowledge by the time Biden left, we weren't watching bodies count on the news in terms of people losing their life to C-19.
Yeah,
But that's what we had to deal with. We didn't. By the time Biden left, we didn't have folks showing up at the Capitol. You know what I'm saying? Attacking law enforcement.
when you're doing a good job, you don't usually typically lose your job. He lost his job. So if he was doing such a good job, how did he end up losing his job?
Who?
Biden.
Well, does that apply to Donald Trump too?
No, because there was that 19 thing that got in the way there. That
No. But remember, the way
couldn't control.
The way we're grading the presidency and their job is honestly, yeah. There's a lot of factors, the economy, but you would also have to grade, like, did Joe Biden get impeached twice? No. Did they try to impeach him? Absolutely. They couldn't find any evidence. That says a lot about Joe Biden. Did Joe Biden, like I said, did he have us all sitting at home? Did he lock the nation down, or did he get the country back open? Was he the president that got the country reopened, Lee?
Well, obviously it was right timing, right?
You might not have liked it. You might not have liked how he did it, and that's your opinion. But we have to walk away going, by the time Biden left, the country was open. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. Oh my God. Y'all are really reporting. Oh my gosh. You have to walk away and say the country was open. And there was no insurrection at the end of the day when Joe Biden left, and that, people were working. You may have had issues with immigration or things like that, but it wasn't at a level where folks were sitting at home scared and Joe Biden was getting on TV every morning and repeating a bunch of lies and a bunch of nonsense, scaring the heck out of Americans. So I tend to believe that, yes, in 2020, America was so upset with Donald Trump that a lot of Americans showed up and they said, this guy got to go.
So who do you think would be the face to run for 2028 on your guys' party?
It's too early, but I like what Jasmine Crockett, I like what Gavin Newsom are doing. All right. I mean, but I honestly don't know if we've actually seen a leader that might come out real charismatic, real organic, and might be able to really carry the torch and the message. All right. What I'm talking about is really, honestly, accountability and affordability. That's what we need. We don't need government agencies like the CDC. The CDC putting Americans' lives in danger. Right now, they're cutting research funding. And I'm going, well, if you really cared about children and you cared about cancer, why would you cut the funding? It doesn't make any sense. Why would you be giving us bad data when it comes to measles and smallpox and things like that? Like, we're a sicker country right now. And that's just the CDC. I'm looking at the DOJ and the FBI. I'm going, what is going on with Pam Bondi and the Epstein files? Why is Kash Patel saying we got these people and he really doesn't have them? Where are the job numbers? Why is the unemployment ticking up? I mean, seriously, what happened to Liberation Day? Why is Donald Trump allowed to make all this money? You know what I mean? There's a lot of things happening right now where I think we're at a point in American history where a lot of you who allowed yourselves to be duped by Donald Trump, y'all got to ask yourselves, how? How did you let him get away with it?
They all make money when they get into office. I feel like, I don't know. I think the whole system needs to be changed. And I don't think Gavin Newsom or whatever his last name is, I don't think he's your guys' solution. I think that's going to end up being worse,
Well, this is what I say. I appreciate your opinion about that, but how can we take you serious when you used all the information you had last election and you voted for someone you knew was clearly unfit to be the president, right? Don't you think you got to start looking at yourself and saying, maybe I'm not seeing the full picture the way that I should see it? Don't you think that's what's happening right now with a lot of you? Because how do you change that fast? It's like somebody who's battling an addiction. They just can't turn around the next day and say, I quit, and then start running around trying to give people advice. Right?
Yeah, but for you guys, like, if the media is telling you bad, and then they're whipping out weaponization of making him a criminal and bringing him to court and all this stuff. After a while, you got to think that maybe they're trying to get rid of this guy. I mean, even what's it called, attempt, and
the
all this stuff. Yeah, all this stuff to stop this in its tracks. So you wouldn't think, well, like, why were they trying so hard to get him not to get in there? And that's one of the reasons. And that's one of the reasons I voted for him. To be honest with you,
So you believe that they were actively targeting Donald Trump and trying to stop him from being president? You believe that?
Smear campaign like I've never seen out of all the presidents I've ever been through. I mean, and all the elections, I've never seen such a thing in my life.
Do you believe that? Do you believe that there may be something there with Donald Trump in terms of the things they were going after him? Do you think, for instance, that there's a chance he might be a criminal?
Well, one of the things that bothered me was that the fraud thing, you know, like, because that really doesn't have that much importance. But
you didn't answer my question. Remember, my question was, okay, let's just say it was weaponization. Do you think that Donald Trump is capable of committing crimes?
I think everybody's capable of committing crimes, and if he changed, he changed. I mean, it was from 30 years ago, some of this stuff, and then.
So if you believe that, do you believe he's capable of essaying women?
I think anybody is, and do I think he, on that subject, do I think he did? No, I don't think he did. Absolutely not. I don't see why he would have to.
Do you think lightning can strike 2 times in the same spot?
Sure. I know a guy that got hit by lightning 3 times.
Okay, but its probability is very slim then, right? And I say this to you because think about the amount of coordination it would take to get everybody to be in on going after Donald Trump, right? I mean, if you're talking strictly about the Democrats, we're really not a cult personality type of group of people. We all tend to, be smart in our own areas, and it's very hard to get us to go along with something. And if there's no truth in it, a lot of us are out. As much as we don't like Donald Trump, a lot of us aren't going to be feeling comfortable pushing out misinformation and disinformation because that's a damage on the credibility side. So how difficult would it be to get everybody in a room or some sort, or set up a Zoom and say, this is how we're going to go after Donald Trump. We're going to send these women to go after him. Everybody needs to be in on it. Here are your talking points. We're going to catch him on fraud. This is what we're going to do. We're going to use these 2 prosecutors and then Jack Smith. And this is what the narrative is going to be. And then all of you all need to go on the internet and you all need to spread this story about Donald Trump. Don't you think that would be very, very difficult to pull off?
That's actually, what you're saying is actually even easier of a narrative to do. Once you start hearing it over and over and over again, it gets embedded in people's heads. And you got to think that because of that smear campaign that you guys did, it actually hurt that party to actually probably why he got elected, to be honest with you.
Yeah, but Lee, I'll say this, as a person that's a Democrat, that never happened. The information that a lot of us have gotten off of about Donald Trump, you can go out and look it up. You can go look at these court cases. You can go independently look it up. You can go listen to Donald Trump himself. You can talk to people who've known Donald Trump. And I actually think that's more likely what happened. A lot of people who've been around Donald Trump, who've been in his orbit. I've had Michael Cohen here, for instance. They'll tell you, they'll report what it was like in the cult. And it lines up perfectly with the things that you can see that Donald Trump did. So there is no secret meeting happening with the Democrats to try to smear Donald Trump. What's really happening is we see who Donald Trump really is, and we don't fall for the lies. Make sense?
And same goes for, we saw who Joe Biden was, and we didn't go for the lies either.
Okay, so let me ask you this. What were they investigating Joe Biden for in terms of trying to impeach him?
I don't know. It's been a while, but I know there was a lot of heat. I know there was.
Well, did it materialize into Joe Biden, them actually being able to produce solid evidence to prove that Joe Biden was committing any crimes and moving forward with impeachment? The answer is no, Lee.
There was that Ukraine thing where he held money over that one guy.
You're talking. But did that materialize into articles of impeachment being drafted and then moving through the House and the Senate and Joe Biden getting impeached. It didn't. Joe Biden served out his full term. It was all a ruse. And I would actually say, Lee, that was more of the situation where you're saying there's a secret meeting happening and they're trying to plan on how to get Joe Biden. They did that to get you to vote for Donald Trump, but it didn't happen. Otherwise, they would have impeached him. But you do have proof that Donald Trump committed fraud. If you look at the case with Letitia James, it was determined that he committed fraud. Now the penalty is the issue. Now the penalty is a different thing. Maybe they were trying to get too much out of him, but he committed the fraud. The crimes that he committed, in his criminal case, a jury of his peers, they looked at the evidence and they said, okay, yeah, he did falsify these business records in order to hide evidence of another crime. He did do these things. So it's not weaponization. It's actually evidence that he is a criminal. And then, like I said, you can look at E. Jean Carroll. You can see that went to trial and it was determined that he was found liable. SA and defamation. Check the box for SA, yeah. So at a certain point, Lee, the issue is this. You were lied to by Donald Trump. And you don't want to admit you were lied to, right?
I don't think he lied to me about anything.
Huh?
I think that he's doing what he said. He's doing what he said.
He's doing what he said. Like what?
Everything that he ran on, he's literally doing it.
Has he?
I don't know one thing he's not.
Has he cut your utility bill in half like he promised, Lee?
He better. Yeah, I'm gonna give him another year here. He better.
Did he end the conflict between Russia and Ukraine in 24 hours?
That he has not done, but he's been working hard on it. So,
Well, Lee, at this moment, Lee, I really do feel bad for you. Would you mind talking to another panelist of mine? They want to talk to you, Lee.
Okay.
Uh-oh, ladies and gentlemen, it looks like Lee has disappeared. Lee, did you leave? Because I feel like I've tried to get my point across to you, Lee, and you're struggling to walk into the light. Lee, are you there?
I am.
All right, hold on. Now, this is a trusted source, and you may know her, but I think Jim can help you understand some things. Good morning, Jim. How are you?
Good morning. How are you?
I'm all right. I got a new friend today, Lee, and I'm trying to help him see who Donald Trump really is. And I don't think I'm not as successful as I would like to be. So maybe you can help us out.
Did I hear him say that fraud's not a big deal? Did I hear him say that?
Lee?
Yeah.
Lee, did you say that? Hey, Lee, are you married?
Am I what?
Are you married?
Sure.
You are? Does your wife cheat on you?
I don't know where you got cheating with.
Just go along with it. Does your wife cheat on you?
No, she does not. No.
So if your wife told you that she was going out with her girlfriends, but she was really bedding down another man, and she was continually doing this where she had girls' nights, would you be okay with the fact that she was not going out with the girls, but she was having an affair?
It would be a huge deal.
It'd be a huge deal. Just for that personal moment for Lee, that'd be a huge deal, right?
Yeah, but if my wife was buying a Louis Vuitton
stay
bag
with me.
and told me that it was more money than it was. Okay.
Stay with me, because that's a good point that you were about to make, and I was just going to go there. So let's say now your wife is taking $1,000 and telling you that she's shopping or buying school supplies for kids or fixing the car, but she's really taking that $1,000 and she's putting it into a private account for herself. Would you be okay when you found out that it had collected up to like $28,000 and it's just sitting in a private account for herself? Would you be okay with that?
if she was loaning the money from me,
Would
and
you
I
be
had
okay if
I had my appraisers, go check if that was validated or true. Absolutely would be. Yes.
Listen to the question, Lee. You know why you're struggling so hard with this? Because you already know where this is going. That when it personally impacts you on a 1-to-1 ratio and somebody is lying and defrauding Lee, it's going to mean something. But
yeah, but it personally didn't affect me.
Panel,
I'm a bank.
It did.
It has nothing to do.
It did.
Oh, you're personally a bank?
You're
personal.
It
really?
did. It did.
How did it hurt you personally?
Us. Okay, I want you to listen, Lee. Lee, I already know I've got you because your anger just rose tenfold because you can't handle facts. And the truth of the matter is this is the problem with MAGA. MAGA will tell you, the 1.4 thousand people in here, that it doesn't matter, that all politicians steal, that all politicians enrich themselves, and
you're confusing government with personal, with banking. You're all over the place.
You're all
and
this is how we know MAGA men are so weak. This is how we know MAGA men are so weak.
What are we talking about?
So weak. It's not business.
Lee,
no, you don't know anything about business. So how are you supposed to know?
Lee,
learn.
Can we
let
Jim?
You learn. You're mixing, so you're
mixing personal with government.
Mute him. You've already lost the battle because you cannot listen
Lee,
to the
just
prompt.
let Jim.
And this is
Jim
the problem.
Walk us through this, Lee. It's easier when you just allow the whooping to happen, Lee. Don't drag this out.
This is the problem with MAGA. Is that they will tell you, they will try to convince anyone that didn't support Trump that what he's doing is business. Well, let me tell you, my tax dollars are not for your private business. My tax dollars are for the betterment of the collective good of my society.
Tax dollars have nothing to do with a loan.
And this is how we know you lose. You lose, Lee, because you can't handle the truth.
Your tax
and this
money
conversation
has nothing
is no
to
longer
do
for
with
you.
a loan.
This is no longer for you. This is for the rest of the people in here.
You understand
because
that or no?
I
literally
had
Lee,
to
don't
come
you want to
up here and
respond to
correct
that?
your misinformation.
I don't want any crashing out with MAGA today, Lee.
Here,
come on.
When people have to tell you that it doesn't impact you, every single penny that this administration has stolen, every single penny that this administration has given to foreign entities that were not supposed to receive money, every single penny that you pay out of your taxes to the federal government is being abused by this government.
Right, kind of like Biden was giving money to Ukraine.
Can you mute him? He needs to learn. He needs to learn his place as a maggot man. You have no place in this conversation any longer because you abdicated your American right when you allowed somebody to steal from the American taxpayers and enrich his own family.
Can I ask you a question, or are you just going to yap?
You are a fool. You are a failure.
You can't after she's done. Just let her say what she needs to say, and it's a conversation. But if you keep clashing, then it just turns into where we're at now. I really do believe, Lee, you can be saved, all right? And I'm rooting for you. But I would love for you to show us you can at least answer these serious questions, because I tried to do it, and I wasn't successful at doing it, Lee. I'm trying to save you.
Okay, so can I ask you, what does Donald Trump getting a loan have to do with your tax money? Do you know?
I don't know what's wrong with you. I'm not answering any questions from people who won't engage in conversation.
It has nothing to do with your tax money. Well, what does that situation have to do with your tax money?
Okay, Lee, I'll take
you. You already lost. You already lost.
Okay,
You're literally holding. You're literally holding the scrotum of this man daily.
You just told me that your tax money
every day.
Lee, the reason this is important is because we're trying to help you understand that you don't have a problem with fraud unless it happens to you. And what Jim is trying to help you understand is how that applies to this moment. So please listen up so we can move on. All right. Other people, we're trying to get other people in here and get this conversation to be fully fleshed out. Sorry, Jim, go for it.
No, it's okay. So this is the thing. I came up here cordial and you lost it. You lost it because you knew you felt it happening in the moment. If it was your wife lying to you, if it was your wife taking money, skimming off the top, if it was your wife literally telling you one thing was happening with your personal money that you earned and she was skimming and saving it for a rainy day to take off on you, you would have a problem with that. If it was your wife betting another man while saying she was out with girlfriends, that's intent. And intent means that when a person intentionally lies about doing one thing and does another, that is fraud. They are defrauding you. And when they defraud you, they are taking from you personally in your own life. So when we vote people into office and we allow them to
like
have
Clinton and Monica, right? When you voted Clinton in with Monica, that was good. Was that good?
Shut up,
Lee. You're doing it, Lee. Don't bring up nothing. We were almost through this.
And this is how you know they've already lost, because in the course of this conversation, when he spoke to you, he had to bring up Biden. He had to bring up Hillary. He had to bring up Clinton. He had to bring up Harris.
No, you're talking about who you voted in. You voted in a guy named Clinton.
The president of the United States is Donald Trump. And Donald Trump has enriched himself and his cronies and his 5 children from 3 different women, you know, from those marriages where he defrauded the first wife with the second wife and the second wife with the third wife, because we already knew who he was. He was immoral. So please miss me with Clinton getting a BJ under a desk with a consenting adult when
but
you
guys
literally
were fine
voted
with
for
that.
a man who cheated on all of his wives.
You were fine with it.
Lee.
No,
fine with
nobody
it.
was fine with it.
Lee.
But you know
Oh,
what
yeah.
we didn't do? We didn't make excuses for him.
Mm.
You do.
We know Donald
You
ain't doing
do.
that in the office.
Lee.
You do.
Lee.
You make excuses for it.
Donald said he's banging his secretary, Lee, and we got that on record. So let's stop with the games.
And let's be very clear that men like this are the reason we're in the position we are in. You are not America first. You are not a patriot. You are not anybody who literally serves the American people in any way, shape, or form. Because as a grown man, you are literally up here talking about and making excuses for a known con man, a predator and thief, a convicted criminal, and a tax evader who has bragged about it consistently, who is literally in bed with foreign entities day in and day out. From Russia to Qatar to Korea to Afghanistan, not the leaders of the government of Afghanistan, but the Taliban, that he literally released 5,000 of them that literally harmed the Afghan government, that we spent 20 years and lost over 2,000 service members to give them what they needed. And he overturned it in a matter of the strike of his pen, you know, his Sharpie color crayon to make you feel like he was doing something. And then when 13 service members were unalived along with Afghani people, you literally blamed Joe Biden when it was this man, Donald Trump, who released 5,000 Taliban. Please make it make sense in your own mind, because the rest of us know what we're up against. We're literally watching as our country is being sold out to the highest bidders, piece by piece, to foreign entities that mean to do us harm. So please, talk about Clinton's BJ in your bedroom with the girl that you're trying to impress, but miss the rest of us because we don't want to hear it.
Amen. W. Jim. All right. Now, Jim, that was amazing. Let's see if Lee is now able to be more receptive to this, and then we'll try to, you know, rotate, because I think there's other friends out there that might be able to get through. We don't got all day, but Lee, did you hear what Jim said? We're trying to help you. Well, at least I know I am. Jim
is obviously she is very upset. Something's happened to her in the past.
No.
I apologize for what happened.
No, you don't get to. Nope. And sorry, Zeus, I know this is your life. Yeah. You don't get to come up here and disrespect me as a woman because I dog walked you. Yeah. I literally gave you the doggy treats you needed to hear, and they're filled with all kinds of goodness. Yes. Because what you're not going to do is come up on this live and disrespect any woman on this live.
That part.
Not me, not any other woman on this live. You are going to sit and play dead, just like I told you to. Shut the up.
Oh,
that was all I could talk was 5 seconds from a Democrat. That's pretty impressive.
No, Lee. Here's the thing.
No, it's okay. I'm impressed that you guys gave me 5 seconds. I'm impressed.
No. We're not
That's all
playing
it
the
takes
game.
you.
Oh, WG. Jim. Oh God.
Somebody get a towel for my knee because that's as high as he could get.
Lee, please. I'm trying to keep the dogs off of you, Lee. Please, seriously. Do you understand what Jim is at least trying to say? Because I could bring up the next guest, and again, I've already tried. What we're trying to get you to understand is we're not going to let you blame Joe Biden and try to get out of this mess. You voted for this.
Well, I think Jem liked Joe Biden because he was old and he couldn't really talk, and I think that's how Jem is. I think she likes.
Notice the ad hominem attacks.
I could tell
Ad
you like
hominem.
people who can't talk.
Do you know what ad hominem is, Lee?
Because
you know
your husband obviously divorced
Lee, do you know what ad hominem is?
Tell me you are divorced.
Lee, do you know what ad hominem is? I hope to God your wife is literally stealing
Tell
from
me your husband left you, and tell me your husband was a MAGA.
I hope to God that your wife, every time she's out on a girl night, is literally betting your best friend.
Your husband's a MAGA,
I'm telling you
isn't
right
he?
now, I'm planting seeds in your head right now because you know you're going to go checking through that paperwork. You're going to go check because I'm telling you, you're being defrauded because no woman would put up with a pathetic maggot like yourself.
Bingo. Jim, ladies and gentlemen.
Jem is your ex-husband?
No.
Tell me your ex-husband's a MAGA.
Lee, I brought up Nutty. Hey, and by the way, thank you, Jim. Jim, you're totally... I can't say what Jim is saying because I've been already reported twice, but W's in the chat for Jim. So beautiful. And I'm trying to be fair and balanced, all right? And Lee, no, don't be a misogynist, all right? Don't be a misogynist and don't be up here acting like you're not a Christian because you're a Christian, aren't you, Lee? Aren't you a Christian, Lee? Lee, are you there? Are you there? I just wanted to hit unmute, Lee. Are you a Christian?
Of course I am, and as if you can see, I didn't call her one name, and all she was doing was calling me names, and that's how I can tell she's angry.
I didn't call you a single name.
Oh,
Lee,
yes, you did. You called me a maggot.
Maggot is what you are.
You're hoping my wife would cheat on me. You're sick.
Let's be very clear.
Lee,
you don't get to
Christ-like.
attack me as a woman and expect
Democrats
me to
are
be
sick.
tolerant.
No, Lee.
Let's be very clear.
Lee,
I
come
never
on.
threw out a single dagger until you came for my womanhood, tried to call me emotional, told me I didn't know about business.
Yeah.
You don't know anything about me. And you
Yeah.
said it all because I have ovaries and a vagina. Then you have the audacity to talk about the fact that I may or may not be divorced, yet you voted for a thrice divorced man who bedded 2 immigrants because American women no longer wanted to do that job.
Ooh.
So please miss me with your attacks about,
Thank you.
she called me names. Maggot literally means make America great again, Trump supporter. It's a fucking analogy.
Woo, Jim. Now, Lee, I'm glad you acknowledged that you are a follower of Jesus Christ. And I want you to just, whenever you feel the urge to say something, just turn the other cheek. Nutty, are you there? Because I want to make sure Nutty gets the chance to holler at you, all right? And they can say things that I can't because I'm the host. Nutty, how are you doing, brother?
All I can say is, dang, Jim, you could have left a little meat on the bone. Come on, Jim. She left nothing on the bone. But
you can boil that bone for soup, baby boy. You got this. I digress. I love you. Go ahead. Make some
Jam,
soup,
after this,
Antifa.
call your ex-husband.
Hey, Lee, come on. Be Christ-like.
Lee, she's correct. You've lost the plot.
Jim, call your ex-husband.
Lee, you lost. You might want to bow out gracefully right now.
Yeah, Lee.
You
Come
might
on,
want
Lee.
to bow out gracefully because obviously you're showing all 1.5K people that's in here that you got dog walked by a woman. How does that feel? How does that feel that she made you the little tiny man that you are? How does that make you feel, Lee? This is a therapy session now.
Yeah.
You're laying on my couch. You're paying me $200 an hour. And I'm asking you, how do you feel right now? How do you feel knowing that your wife is out there
I
with
feel
another
good
man?
that Trump's in the office. Yes, I do.
Of course you do.
You
So
must
I
feel
want- I
like
wanted
you're on
to
the
go-
losing side still,
I
right?
wanted to correct
Can
the
he at
record.
least get it out, Lee?
I wanted
'Cause-
to correct the record on something you said.
Yeah,
Joe
I'll take it
Biden-
from a loser. Go ahead.
Okay, I'm a loser. Great.
Yeah.
So I wanted
See
to
how that
You
works,
are.
Lee?
You
We're
guys
not-
lost,
Lee,
and you're mad.
Lee,
Yep.
Lee, no one's mad. We're winning.
Oh, you guys sound really mad, but it's okay.
No, Lee, actually, they're being very nice, Lee. You haven't even seen.
Just heard a girl yell for like 3 minutes straight, and I don't even know what a word she said.
You've never made a woman.
yeah.
You never made a woman hit the high note, Lee. All right, never mind. Let's hit mute. And Nutty, please continue.
I wanted to correct the record. Lee, you said that Joe Biden lost his job. Joe, you can't lose something that you give up. Joe Biden didn't lose anything. Joe Biden did not lose an election to Donald Trump. So can you elaborate on that, please?
Yeah, he lost his mind. I'm sorry. Yeah, he lost his mind. He couldn't be a president anymore. Okay, that's it.
So you're talking about Donald Trump? Because the man that's in the background right there.
You told me to elaborate, and I did. He
man
wasn't
that's in the
fit to be
background?
the position anymore, and he quit. I understand. That's it. Done.
No, he didn't quit. He retired, Lee. So if you recall, Zeus and Jim,
Yeah.
I believe that when Joe Biden was just a civilian, he was happy being in retirement, was he not? He came out of retirement to run against this fascist dictator wannabe. Am I correct in that, Jim?
Yes, you are.
Also, Lee, you mentioned about Joe Biden, about when Zeus asked you about the pending impeachment, that they were trying to impeach him. You said, "Oh, the money over Ukraine that he had." So you don't even know what you're talking about, sir, because when he had the money over Ukraine, that's when he was the vice president of the United States of America under Barack Hussein. We haven't said that in a long time, Zeus. Obama.
Facts.
So why do you bring stuff up that you don't know what you're talking about? He cannot be impeached for something that he did as vice president.
But we're bringing up stuff from Trump 30 years ago, though. That's okay.
So Lee, here's the deal, Lee. Here's the deal. When victims bring up things that happen to them, there's no statute of limitations. A victim is still a victim, even though they are in surviving mode and they survive the victimhood, they are still the victim. So because someone is the victim, are we supposed to say, "Oh, get over it"? Are you kidding me right now?
Come on, Lee.
Especially if we're putting this person in the most powerful seat in the entire world, Lee.
Facts.
That doesn't matter to you?
Come on, Lee.
Come on, let's have the
Lee.
conversation here.
Lee knows he's wrong, Nutty. Jim, Lee knows he's wrong.
Listen, I'm not gonna belabor any more time because it doesn't seem like he really want to have the conversation.
Fair enough.
Because I think Jim really took what little PP he had and just disintegrated it.
So and I can tell I hear the fan going off in the background, the smoke detectors going off. I think Jim overcooked Lee, and so I guess now we'll go to the audience. Is it time for judgment with Lee? Audience,
It was time when you let him up.
this is a democracy. Lee, do you have one more remark that perhaps can save you?
I listen.
You think,
I'm glad that I let you guys get it off your chest. Just remember, everything's gonna be okay. Okay, your Trump's your daddy. Okay, and just relax.
And Lee,
you got it
you're
off
not a
your
Christian.
chest.
Lee, you're not a Christian.
and then you forgot one part, Lee.
I did my
Bend
job
the knee,
today.
Lee. You forgot one part. Bend the knee. All right, and then do us a favor and go straight to hell.
Silence, you MAGA demon!
W. Zeus. Yeah, that was a torture chamber moment, Nutty and Jim. But thank you so much.
Very, very quickly. I want to speak on something that you said in your monologue about when you announced that Trump was suing the BBC.
Yeah.
He's not suing the BBC because they lied on him. He's suing the BBC because they're the BBC. You get it?
Keep it clean, Nutty, please.
Because he knows what Stormy told us. He knows what Stormy told us. And the fact that the BBC, I'm going to let y'all minds go there.
Nutty,
That's
you're sick.
why he's suing the BBC.
Lord have mercy.
That's why he's suing the BBC.
Nutty, please. Y'all can't be up here, polluting the kingdom. You know what I mean? We got people out here listening. Don't send their minds over there, Nutty. Please.
Listen, Jim.
Nobody wants that.
Jim always gets up here and she talks about misinformation or disinformation, and I'm just setting the record straight. I'm setting the record straight as to why he's suing the BBC.
Keep it clean, right, W?
Are you trying to say that he's suing the BBC because of a?
Oh my God!
I am.
Oh man!
And the fact that Stormy came out and just told the truth about his little C. How about that?
Oh
'Cause
Lord!
it certainly ain't BB.
Oh Lord!
Oh come on, y'all! Y'all got to show some love for my rooster crow. You got to, cock-a-doodle-doo.
W-N.
It was cock-a-doodle and doodle.
Wow!
So that's why he's doing it. And one more thing before I let you go. One more thing before I let you. Yesterday, you said to a guest that you believe that all MAGA are, what was the term you used? You said
who was I talking to?
I don't remember who you were talking to.
Because I did like 3 demons in a row.
You said that all MAGA are inherently racist.
Oh.
And I disagree with you.
Oh, I said that? Wow. Man,
Yes, you did.
I was flying.
You said inherently, and that's the part that I disagree with you with. All MAGA are not inherently racist. All MAGA are racist. I'll say it.
Even the black ones?
All MAGA are racist. No, see, the black ones, they're just, I can't use the language. I cannot use the language on this panel that I really want to use, because Takesha will get in here and she will really whoop me. You hear what I'm saying? Because all MAGA are indeed racist. They're not inherently racist. Now, all white people are inherently racist, but there are wonderful white people that literally work on a daily basis not to be racist, because it's a chore, it's a job, because we grow up in a racist society. And this white male patriarchy called the United States of America.
Yeah.
So, yes, all MAGA are racist. So they voted for this man. They voted for this criminal because they didn't want this beautiful black woman sitting in the most powerful seat in the world.
And you said she's black.
She is.
Thank you. I just wanted to make sure we get that on the record. What was that, Jim? I'm sorry to cut you off.
Let's just be very clear. Those in the Black and Latino community who voted for Trump, and we have to say this, is there's a degree of self-loathing because they were told they had to hate themselves, and they believed it. They believed that the only way to get ahead in society is to align themselves with the proximity of rich old white males. And so if they can harm their communities through a vote, but so, supposedly protect themselves because of that vote, then that self-loathing takes hold, right?
Yeah.
And the longer you're told that you're less than, or that you will never amount to them because of said skin color or ideology or religion or sex, it's the otherisms, right?
Yep.
To literally demoralize and degrade somebody to the point where they will vote against their own best interest. And when you vote against your own best interest and you harm your own community, your own children, your own neighborhoods, and then you try to come up and preach to people about said neighborhoods as you literally take the food out of the mouths of babes, as you literally take away their health care, literally, he's in the audience right now attacking me in the comment section. So he already knows who we talking about. That when you vote against your own
DJ?
No. DJ ain't DJ.
Oh, no. I'm just naming off some names. I'm just naming off names.
Hold up. DJ's devoid of color. You know we're not talking about DJ. Okay.
Wow.
We're not talking about envelopians. We were talking about the Blaga situation and the fact that
for sure is Dane.
Yeah. So when you vote against your own community, your own people, your own collective good, you don't have a say anymore because you've already sold your soul to the devil. You have already taken food out of that community. You've already taken education away from your children. You've already taken literal health care and said, we don't need that. Give it to those rich kids in that Christian school as they literally starve our children. Yeah, that's what you've done.
Hey, Jim.
Y'all serious? To lighten up. Y'all don't want to lighten up on a brother or something. Give a brother a chance.
Before Zeus kicks us off his panel, Wasn't it Dame that said he was never going to come back to this platform?
Oh,
Zeus Live anymore?
oh, but
Wasn't it DJ, also DJ, that said, I'm never coming back anymore, Zeus, because you let them be so mean to me, Zeus. Boo! Wasn't it both DJ and Dame that said that?
Yes.
So why in the hell are they here?
They have to be here. They have nothing else. That's the only time their name gets said is when they come to a community that talks against them because they don't have anyone truly supporting them. The only reason Dame does what he does is because Dame hates himself.
Oh.
And DJ thinks he's superior to Dame. So Dame, you know what? You should have a conversation with DJ. You might have a good one then, since you want to talk about owners.
Wow.
Since you want to talk about owners, friend. Yeah, you might want to talk to DJ.
Oh, he used the term owners. That's mean, bro. Come on, ain't nobody got owners over here. You see the Riz game over here. You want to say that? I think it's projecting. I think it's projecting, Jim. And so what I'll do is this, Jim and Nutty, you deserve a huge round of applause. Y'all did an outstanding job diagnosing every patient in this live. I couldn't do it without you, seriously, but I'm going to move it on.
But let me finish my thought about fraud because I think it's important for the audience to hear.
Okay.
Google fraud. Do yourself a favor today and teach yourself so that when you go into these lives and have conversations, you understand the criminality of fraud and why it impacts you. What this administration is doing is literally stealing tax money from the American people. And I want to remind people that when Doge came in and all of those government employees, those federal employees that were doing the people's work to ensure that you had access to programs, where is that money now? Because it's not back in your bank account. You're still paying the tax dollars on it. They have literally rerouted that money and stolen that money that belonged in SNAP. They've rerouted that money that belonged to those federal workers to pay their salaries. And I'm going to tell you one further thing, that when you witness fraud and you do nothing about it and are complicit, I tell you, when this is all said and done, every single one of those people in the Congress that allowed this to happen should be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law by the American people, for the American people. Because if you think for one second that what's happening right now is not important, believe me when I tell you, every one of your children will be paying for this administration for a lifetime to come.
Yeah. Thank you. Love you, Jim. All right, love you too. Later, and thank you, bro. Wow. So, ladies and gentlemen, what we're doing is it's like a kitchen or something. Like everybody that comes up here that's on the right side, they wear an apron and they're just cooking maggot demons and then sending them out there. And it's easy to do because none of these people dwell in truth. They dwell in misinformation and disinformation. And I don't know why Brother Dame wants to come back over here and get this kibble, and he never wants to pay the full price for it. You said you got 5 sources of income. All you got to do is send me a big Zeus. All right, send me a big Zeus. And that's not begging. That's not begging at all. That's actually what I call putting your money where your mouth is, because what we're doing is we're saving America. But if you don't got the ability to do it, I understand, because like we all see what the economy is doing. You got to work 5 jobs in order to at least live, right? And that's actually a sad thing now that I think about it. And if you could, any Trump voter out there, do you have your utility bill? Any Trump voters out there got their utility bill? If so, you're right. Love you too, Gina. I'm with you too. You ever notice they'll all swear up and down they're doing great financially, and then you'll say, all right, show me your bank statement, show me your 401ks. They can never do it. Show us your utility bill. They can never do it. You're all a bunch of liars, and we know it. All right, let's move it along. All right, and Lee, I hope you took some of the feedback, Lee, that Jim and Nutty were able to give you. And I hope you're able to at least, do some reconsider the information, because it's very important. It's vital to your success, your overall success. All right, who do we got next, ladies and gentlemen? Please let me know who do we got next. All right, look. Wow, we got a huge box. Oh my gosh. Okay, who else do we got next? Who do we have next? All right, moving along. I got a lot of people in here I don't recognize. All right, but I try to mix it up, ladies and gentlemen. Seriously, who do we got here? KG, good morning. Who do we got? Okay, hold on. All right, hold on. I'll bring up my good friend Brother Val. I haven't seen you in a while. Good morning, Brother Val. Nice to see you.
How's it going?
It's going pretty good. What about you?
Pretty good. I've been watching the show that was
It's insane, right? I mean, I have no words. I'm actually lost for words. These people, they don't want to see the light. They love darkness.
Right. They love darkness so much that they want to try to live so much in the past. They talk about living in the past, right?
Yeah.
They say, they'll come to us, and as soon as the past doesn't fit their narrative, they want to live in the right now. But as soon as the present doesn't fit their narrative, they want to go back to the past. The reason you bring up people like Bill Clinton, Hillary Clinton, okay, come on now. I mean, really? I mean, you're trying to just throw talking points out there to think you have some sort of got you moment.
Yeah.
I mean, if you knew about the Bill Clinton situation, you'd know this. One, we didn't know what had happened really with Bill Clinton until the end of his presidency. As the public, we really didn't know. But we were very unhappy about it. And people need to remember it had nothing to do with the BJ that got him kicked out of office. It's because he lied to Congress.
Yeah. That's the part, right?
Right.
But even then, what's worse, what Bill Clinton did or what Trump has been doing? If you were to just...
way worse what Trump's doing right now, because it's not just lying to Congress. Lying to Congress is bad enough. But I want everybody to remember that every day somebody from this administration steps foot in the House of Representatives or Senate to go to a committee and be questioned. They lie every day. Every day we hear them lie. I mean, to the point that an FBI person was told the other day, I know this by a senator, I know you just did not come into this house and make an assertion that you cannot prove. But yet here we are. We've had the FBI director, we've had the DOJ director, we've had several people from this administration walk into Congress and just flat out lie. Kristi Noem.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Pete, what about Pete, Secretary of War Crimes, right?
Right.
Running around here. Have they been able to produce any evidence that these boats that they're doing that to?
No, they haven't produced a single bit of evidence. And then they try to throw some joke out there if they tested the water to see if it contained. Please give me a break. Do what?
They said they tested the water.
Yeah, they threw that out there in a post. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we tested the water. Y'all people have lost your mind. Okay, these are the things we're getting. I mean, normally we would know if it had actual things on it ahead of time, right? Mm-hmm. These are the things that are going on in this country today. Just as a version of our Constitution, the breaking of not just U.S. law but international law.
Yeah.
And what Jim brought up, the theft of taxpayer money.
Yeah.
And I'm going to give you a perfect example of that, as well as nepotism while we're at it. So when the government and the House decides to give, through presidential order, a contract to the president's son.
He did that?
Yeah, that's
Hunter
what
Biden?
the DOJ.
You're talking about giving it to Hunter Biden?
Yeah. No, they didn't give it to Hunter Biden. They gave it to Trump. Donald Trump, I think. And so this is what we're talking about. Okay? This is actual the government giving money to the president's son for a company that he has purchased into for magnets of all things. Okay? If you don't understand what's actually happening here, this is what it is. And DJ, don't think I didn't mistake you dropping into this little chat down here.
Oh, DJ is here.
DJ is here.
He said he wanted to talk to you, Val, but let me see, because he said, Zeus, I'm too afraid to let Val talk to you, but please minister to him.
Yeah, but DJ, you want to bring up Minnesota. DJ, Minnesota wasn't handled by the state. What happened in Minnesota was handled by the federal government. Oh, let me mind you.
Oh.
The federal government that has been put in place by the president of the United States. Oh, and did he fire a bunch of people that would probably normally keep up with stuff like that? Oh, probably so, DJ. So miss me with your Minnesota BS.
Yeah. There he is. I sent him an invite. Let's see if DJ has the testicular fortitude, so to speak.
Come tell me how that's a lie, DJ. Is a federal program, and the companies that were given that money were vetted
Watch him.
by the federal government,
He's
not
gonna
the
give us
state government.
I thought he was going to make an excuse for you, Val.
Oh, no, I'm outside. I'm happy to come up here and talk, but I just got a couple of minutes. But what you're saying, Val, is that stuff was not run by the state? Is that
No,
what
it
you're
was
saying?
ran. That company was vetted by the federal government.
That company.
Mm-hmm.
That company. You mean the state agency that control?
That wasn't a state agency, sir. It was a private company.
You are full of
No,
shit.
sir. Go look it up. It was a private company.
Well, I'm
It
happy
was
to
a
look it
private
up.
company that put
you're
in
turning
there.
around
That
and
put in.
blaming
Hold on,
the
sir. I'm going to finish this
Minnesota-
for you. It was a private company that put in their
Pull it up. Pull it
bid
up, Val.
because
Pull it
it was
up.
given to them by the federal government because this company claimed that it was
And-
already giving food to elderly people and to the needy. They claimed that they were already doing that. It was vetted by the federal government, and the federal government said okay.
Okay.
So, excuse me?
No,
It had
please,
nothing
no,
to do with the
excuse me,
state.
Because you
That
are full
company
of more
claimed with the
crap
Fed.
than
This was a
Christmas
federal
turkey.
program.
All right. So let me ask you this, Val. If this was all federal, why are we hearing so much about the state government in Minnesota? Why are you hearing so much about?
Oh, that would be because y'all trying to spin this.
Oh, you are so full of crap.
No, sir. That's
No, no, you
I'm
know
not.
what,
I've
Val?
actually looked
I am
up the
gonna- I'm
story.
gonna look into this,
I've
and I'm
actually
gonna
looked up the
invite
story.
Zeus
I
to
looked
have
up the
you and I
companies
have a
that were
conversation,
involved.
'cause
Sir, I
this is
looked up
bullshit.
the companies that were involved and where they were vetted. They told the federal government that they were already handing out food to elderly. This company had already been known, so you know, in other states to do work for the federal government in this line.
Okay, so this is all Trump's fault. Is that what you're saying, Val?
No, hold on a minute. I said it's the administration's fault.
Okay.
Okay. So first off, sir, I don't think Trump. Just so we're clear, I don't think Trump actually sees these types of things, right?
Okay, well, we'll back it
Okay.
up.
I also
Back it
don't
up.
think,
You're
just for
saying
the
it was
same
the
reason, I
federal
don't think Tim
government's
Walls
fault.
would see these kind of things. Okay.
Val?
These are handled by federal. These are handled by federal employees. Now,
none of this is
let's
state
talk
money.
about what might be Trump's fault
This
in
is
this
not
situation.
state money.
And this is speculation, sir. But I think I'm probably pretty close to on track. What
Okay,
might
well,
be
I don't think
Trump's
you
fault?
are, Val.
Let's see.
I think
When
you're
you
up here
get
trying
rid
to
of
twist
federal
this into
employees,
something that-
when you get rid of federal employees that are in place
DJ.
to make sure these types of things aren't happening, to actually oversee these types of agencies, but
so this
you
is
get
not-
rid
nothing
of
to
those
do with Tim
employees,
Walz
that
or
might
any other
actually be
Minnesota state
Trump's
government.
fault.
You are so full of shit, man.
Hey, so
You know what? I'm outside,
DJ,
so I don't have
DJ.
an opportunity to look anything up. But I'm going to back you up, and I'm going to chase
DJ.
you, and we're going to talk about this because
DJ.
this is more of everything that y'all do, man.
DJ.
You turn around, you find it doesn't matter what it is. Somehow it all rolls back.
Hey, dude, you ever heard the term accufession? You've heard me use it before, right?
Excuse me?
You ever heard the term accufession? You've heard me use it before, right?
Say it again. I don't understand.
Accufession.
No, I don't know what that is.
It's an accusation with a confession.
That's an accusation. That's somebody throwing out an accusation because they're actually committing the crime.
So
Oh,
DJ,
okay.
I know
Okay.
you're in a hurry, DJ. I just got to ask you though. So there was a time when you came up here and you told me, and I've been hunting you down actually, that if we have evidence that Trump was with Epstein, Trump is with Epstein, you said you'll be done with him. You came to my show and said that.
Sure.
There's photos that were released, and I wanted to get your understanding about this. So look in the background. You saw this.
Okay.
You saw this.
Oh, absolutely, Zeus.
Who is
You want
that?
to talk about that?
Who's that? And then these two. Yeah.
No. Go back to the other picture, Zeus. Go back
Oh,
to the
okay.
other picture.
Which one? This
Go
one?
back to the other picture.
Oh, never mind.
Go back to the other picture.
Oh, which one? Let me see if I can
The
find
one
it
with the
again.
women whose faces are redacted.
Oh, this one. Yeah, this one.
There's a reason they're redacted.
Yeah. What is that, Val?
That is because that they're either victims or minors.
That is a lie.
No, sir.
That is a lie.
No, sir.
Those are contested from a beauty contest, and every single one of those women are adults. And those pictures are redacted like that for you to jump to that conclusion. That
Oh
those are-
no, sir. No, sir. They're redacted by a law that was put in place.
Val,
Sir, what was the
here in
law
front
that
of
was put in
Zeus and
place
however
when it
many
came to
people on this
Epstein and
live,
these files?
Do you want to bet me on that those pictures are all adults?
Sir, I don't know who's behind those pictures. What I know is the law that was put in place for redaction.
Yeah.
Do you want to make an agreement with me?
No, DJ.
That
I
we'll
want to
have a
DJ.
discussion about
DJ.
this. See, this is more.
Can I
this
just
is
can
more
I
of the
can
same
I can I
thing,
just
dude.
say this, DJ?
Sure, you can.
Assuming that they are adults, does that mean that the
what, Zeus?
the act or the crime that was committed to them happened when they were adults, or is there a chance it could have happened when they were children?
Zeus, the reason those pictures are posted just like that, and please let me finish my sentence before somebody interrupts.
Oh,
those pictures are put out with the pictures are put out with the redacted faces, so people can jump to the conclusion, just like what.
Oh no! Stop right there.
Please let me finish.
Stop right there. No, because what you're talking right now is pure BS. You're trying to say this was put out by a committee. These pictures were put out and redacted by a committee that had both Republicans and Democrats on it. These redactions were based on the law that was put in place for everything from the Epstein. It's called the Epstein Victim Protection Law.
I saw the unredacted photo, DJ, but I'm still asking you. That doesn't mean that they are not survivors or victims, though. Just because you could see their face and they're adults, a lot of the harm that happened, happened when they were minors.
Go back and put any picture then and say that any picture
that's
of
why
Donald
they
Trump
redacted
with a
the
woman,
face,
or you with a woman that says
that's why
there's
they
no proof that
redacted
she's
the
not
face.
a victim.
That's why they redacted the face. You know it. So DJ, are you making the claim that all those in the photo, none of them are survivors? Do you have evidence of that? DJ,
I lost you. Are you still there?
I said all the women in this photo, because you're saying they're of age.
That's correct.
Okay. Do you have evidence that nothing ever happened to them when they were underage?
Zeus, that is a bullshit question, and you know it.
Did you just curse? Come on, that was a yes or no question. DJ, it's a simple question.
You're saying those faces are redacted because they're either victims or underage, right?
Survivors, yeah. That's why they redacted them. And it doesn't matter. And it doesn't matter how old. It doesn't matter how old they are in that photo. Things could have happened when they were underage, DJ. And you're ignoring this. You're ignoring this, DJ. And you lied to Big Zeus. And you said if you had evidence, you said if you had evidence that Trump was in these files, you're done with him. So you have this. What about this, DJ?
You're sitting in front of a picture.
DJ,
you're sitting in front of a computer.
DJ,
look those pictures up, and I'm telling you, it's bullshit.
DJ, explain these.
What am I looking at, Zeus? Trump condom, 450. Tell me what this is. It's a picture of I mean, what does it prove, Zeus?
Why are they in the Epstein files?
Why are they in the Epstein files?
You guys, and this proves what?
Tell me what laugh. That's a guilty laugh, DJ. That's a guilty laugh. I know it when I hear it. That's a guilty laugh, bro.
You guys suffer so hard from Trump derangement.
How many, DJ? How many parties that you went to that the host of the party had these on the table?
Okay, so Val,
for sale.
Tell me what evidence. Please let me finish my question. Tell me what evidence you have that this is even real. That this is even exists.
We know they came out of the Epstein library from Epstein's computer. Now, hold on, sir. I want to make sure you understand something. We also know that Epstein hadn't used that computer since 2018. Now, was AI imaging available in 2018, sir?
No, it wasn't. DJ.
Oh, so we know that he hasn't used that. You guys are so pathetic, man.
DJ,
it is so pathetic. DJ. I mean, hey, let me ask you this. What about the emails that were put out with the girl's name that was redacted that Trump spent a whole lot of time with her? You know who that was, right?
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Okay, well, yeah, you don't know that.
Virginia Dufresne,
sir,
the email. Yeah, I know what he's talking about, but it's from the Republicans. They're saying it's Virginia, but we have no evidence of that, DJ. And even if it was,
the document is out there unredacted.
DJ,
the document is out there unredacted.
Was Virginia a survivor?
Excuse me?
Was Virginia a survivor?
She absolutely was.
Okay, but she was an adult too, right? So you can
Okay,
understand.
and what did she testify about Donald Trump? What did she testify about Donald
She
Trump?
doesn't
Zeus?
speak. Does she speak for all the survivors? Yes or no? There's thousands
We
of
are
them.
using. We're talking about her right now.
Does she
And you're
speak for?
saying
Does she
was she a
speak?
survivor?
Does
She
she
absolutely
speak,
was a survivor.
Does she speak
Zeus.
for all survivors, DJ? Yes or no?
She speaks for her, Zeus.
Okay,
And
so
her
the
name
answer
is
is no,
her name is the
DJ.
one on that email. Her name is the one on the email that y'all try to say this proves something. And
I
again,
thought
it doesn't prove nothing.
Well, is it
You
a
got
hoax?
nothing sandwich.
Is it
here,
a hoax
dude.
like Donald Trump says it is? Isn't it sad, DJ, that every time we get deeper to the files, Trump name keeps showing up? And look at this. Trump has no clue of this? This is all a hoax, DJ? Come on, bro.
Dude, it's obviously a hoax. Are you really that unintelligent that you're looking at this picture and saying that it's some kind of proof? Are you really serious right now? I mean, do you not have, any integrity whatsoever that is your proof? Okay, there's
got more
another
photos.
picture that's
redacted
where the face is redacted.
Yeah, so we
What
got
does
evidence.
that prove?
But who's in there? Isn't it Donald Trump in these photos? Is this Donald Trump in these photos? Yes or no? And so at the end of the day, DJ, I thought you were a man of honesty and integrity, and we keep catching you lying to us about you're done with Donald Trump. If this was Joe Biden doing any of this, you would definitely say he's guilty, right?
Tell me what I've lied about, Zeus.
If this was Joe Biden next to girls, would you be defending it?
We're missing an important photo here. Okay, tell me about Steve Bannon and the desks, sir.
Steve Bannon and what, Val?
Tell me about Steve Bannon, Epstein, sitting on both sides of the desk. Did you see that picture?
No, I don't know what picture you're talking about.
This one right here?
Okay, what am I looking at? I see a desk.
You see that photo right there? That there's several more photos like this on there.
I can't really make out what it is. I see a pair of legs.
That's a girl bound, laying on a couch.
Okay. So, and that proves what about Trump?
Hold on. Let him show you the full size picture.
Well, I don't have it. I think I got to switch
Yeah.
angles. But
So you know that picture was taken. Steve Bannon is sitting on one side of the desk and Epstein's on the other.
And there's a picture of a girl that's bound.
And it's not just one picture. So there's several pictures on that
You
desk.
see the photo right there, DJ?
I see a picture in a blue frame.
Yeah.
I see your head, Zeus.
Okay. Yeah. So DJ, you can't keep saying all of this is AI generated, bro.
You guys keep saying that this is some kind of proof of something. It doesn't prove anything, guys.
Sir, would you walk into an office with that desk? Would you stay in an office with that picture on the desk?
I needed to hear.
Yeah, you've heard all.
Would you stay in an office? Now, I want to remind you that this picture is taken from the doorway of this office. So, from the doorway of this office, that you would see that very clearly, would you not?
Val, are you telling me?
No. Would you sit and stay in an office that had that picture on the desk?
DJ, it's a yes or no.
With all of your integrity on the line.
DJ, he can't do it.
Listen to me, what I'm going to say, please. With all of your integrity on the line, you'd be willing to look at that blue frame picture right there and say it's not Photoshopped.
Absolutely.
That's real.
What?
Absolutely. There's sir, it's not the only picture like that on the desk.
Okay.
See those two other little frames right there? See that little frame right there by the pencil holder deal? That's another really disturbing picture, sir.
DJ.
So you guys are expecting an intelligent person to believe that millionaires are sitting at their desk with pictures like that sitting on the desk. You guys
apparently
really think that's the truth.
Apparently.
So DJ, I'm going to stop the conversation.
Apparently, because you want to believe
I got to get out of here.
Why.
DJ, I got to stop. I got to get out of here. And,
I don't know.
And it's sad that you yourself think that the photos that have came out, 95,000 are all fake. It's sad that you guys
go do a little bit of research, and I'm gonna prove to you, Zeus, that picture right there is all adults. They're either at a beauty pageant or it's like a Tropicana contest or something.
All right.
You guys are using bullshit evidence.
Okay, yeah. DJ.
So you know, DJ, I've never actually used this picture for any of my conversations because I didn't know what it was really about.
You and I will speak again about the Minnesota tax fraud.
Oh yeah, feel free. Feel free. Go look it up, buddy.
Ladies and gentlemen, DJ has to go straight to hell. ladies
this
and
is the types of things. I mean, y'all want to try to use AI. These pictures came off of Jeffrey Epstein's computer, so everybody knows. Most of these, that's where most of these pictures came from.
Yeah.
And that's what was told to us by Congress. I have no reason to doubt that. They released a second set of those photos that are even worse than the first set of those photos. So you can go look at those. You can go look at those as well. Guys, this is damning. I don't care who you are. And anybody that tries to say, and there's some of these pictures I really don't know what they're about. Okay. That's a granted story, but the pictures themselves are disturbing. And that's what people need to understand. And to say that, and to let the president of the United States that said he had no contact with this man. Why does this man have every picture of Donald Trump in these situations? Every pictures of Steve Bannon, every pictures of the different people that are in Trump's orbit.
Yeah.
That are, you know what I'm saying? That are part of, that seem to be part of this.
Yeah.
And this was prior to AI, people. Sorry.
Yeah, it was. And so that's awesome that Val and I cooked DJ. And we exposed him. DJ's been exposed to be another hypocrite. But all right, Brother Val, I got to get up out of here. All right. It was a pleasure hanging out with you as always. And thank you once again for telling the truth and shaming the devil. All right, ladies and gentlemen.
Bye,
Later. Oh, let's see. Okay. Hold on, ladies and gentlemen. Hold up. Oh my goodness, ladies and gentlemen. Hold on. Takesha, you wanted to say something real quick?
I just want to say my point has been proven. Everything I told you DJ was going to say, he said every last word that I said he was going to say. I told you he was going to say AI.
Yeah.
I told you he was going to try to move the goalposts. I told you, Zeus. And every word I uttered, DJ said. My point has been proven.
You did, and it's sad, right? He sat up there and tried to say that the Democrats photoshopped all these photos of
Zeus, you're going to tell me that an intelligent person would look at those pictures and not know they were photoshopped, Zeus?
He's not intelligent. He's not
Child,
intelligent.
please.
Thank you. He's not that intelligent. If you really think about it, then what he just did showed us he's really not an intelligent person, right? And so I got to say it again, W. Takesha. I knew you were going to catch that. Wow. All right, I got to get up out of here.
All right, Zeus, go on, sweetie.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Listen, I don't know how we survived today's show. It was definitely one for the history books. My brain hurts, but you know what? We win. MAGA continues to get defeated. They continue to get mopped. They continue to get cooked. I want to give a special thank you to all the subscribers, gifters, moderators, and panelists, especially Nutty. No, actually, Jim. I'll put Jim first, then Nutty. Val, too. Yeah. Whether it was Lee or DJ, they both know that at the end of the day, they are on the wrong side of history, and that's why they continue to crash out and make excuses for the indefensible. It's truly indefensible what Donald Trump is doing, and these people know that they're wrong, but they'll continue to lie. I'm starting to realize even more and more there is no low that they won't go to defend Donald Trump. And so on that note, ladies and gentlemen, I must warm up the lake of fire once again. Ladies and gentlemen, this goes out to all the Zeus haters out there, and they know exactly who they are. They tell me, and Nutty, you said it, right? The Zeus haters, right? What do they say? Zeus is off the rails. Zeus is off the rails. What do they call me? What's that term that I heard used? What do they call me? Democrat shield. And then they get mad and then they go, you know what I'm not going to do? I'm done with Big Zeus. I'm done with him. I'm going to go. And then what do they do? I wonder if there's any in that kibble that he was leaving out in that bowl. Because they need that kibble because they're struggling out there because they know it's nasty where they at. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in sending these Zeus haters who are out there still. Join me in sending them straight to hell one last time. They come right back. Yes. Oh, you saw me on TMZ? Yeah, I was on TMZ. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I was on TMZ. I'll put the video up one of these days. But yeah, I was on there. They know the Rizzler when they see it, ladies and gentlemen. All right, ladies and gentlemen, have a great rest of your morning. I don't know how we survived, honestly. I got reported 4 times, it looks like. But you know what? I didn't get taken down. Take care. Stay safe out there in the TikTok streets. And do not do anything I wouldn't do.
Yeah.
Oh, MAGA Queen, you got a new photo? Hey, MAGA Queen. Hey, MAGA Queen, that photo ain't gonna change a thing. That photo ain't gonna change a thing, MAGA Queen. All right? You still in trouble if you ask me.
Came from the trenches, now we ballin' at the top.
Rizzler Energy.
Presidential.
Watch the ops.
Drip too saucy, got the fit, hitting real different. 1600 on the throne.
Out here looking brilliant.
No skis, I'm the ghost full sharper than a blade.
Have a great rest of your morning. Got the game in a choke. Thank you. W. Zeus. Thank you. Y'all stay safe out there. Yes, you're awesome, Lauren. Thank you. Angel. Let's go. Let's go. Thank you, Sydney. WR. Posted in the Oval Office, trapping in the zone. Past the 8, got my foot on the gas. Bulletproof, yeah, my aura is built to last. Thank you, everyone. Seriously. Presidential flex, got the game. I love you too. Oh, you like the press briefing video? Thank you. No cap, we win. Yeah, 1600 coming out soon. Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. Posted in the Capitol. You're gonna watch it on YouTube. Thank you. Oh my God. WR. Rip Celestial, shining brighter than a star. It's all good, Michael. Thank you. It's all good, bro. We get out here. We just give it the best we got. That's all we can do. Trap soul in the White House, DC is the town. Woke up in the mansion. Hey, residential, got the poles in the climb. You rock. W, Marissa, thank you. Hey, you like the cowboy hat? That's what you do. Let's go. Make the whole world flip. Bust it off the charts. Got the game in a trance. Drip to wavy, yeah. Make you wanna dance. Wow. Y'all got me working overtime today. All right, ladies and gentlemen. See you tomorrow. Same Zeus time, same Zeus channel. We are out.